This video is a full collection of my most useful iPhone tutorials all in one place. If you're new to iPhone or you just want to learn the best tips, settings, and quick fixes, this is for you. Jump around using the chapters and learn exactly what you need. Fast, simple, no fluff. Let's get into it. To set up voicemail on your iPhone, open the phone app and on the bottom, go to voicemail. Then tap the greeting button on the top right corner. Here you can change between the default greeting or record a custom message that plays when a call goes to voicemail. Once you're done recording, you can play your message and tap the blue check mark to save it. If your phone app looks like this and you can't find the voicemail option on the bottom, it means you're using the unified layout. Tap the menu on the top right corner, and from there, navigate to voicemail. This is also where you can change between the classic phone app layout or the unified layout. Once you get to voicemail, tap Edit and Edit Voicemail Greeting. And that's how you set up your voicemail on an iPhone. If you want to turn off read receipts on your iPhone or iPad, open up the settings and scroll down to Apps. We'll then scroll down to Messages, and from there we can control a whole bunch of different message-related settings, including read receipts. Mine are already off because I don't want people to know when I've looked at their messages, and if you want to disable it, you'll just toggle this off. One thing most people don't know about is that you can have read receipts off for most people, but still enable it for specific contacts. Just tap someone's name in Messages, and you can choose to enable read receipts for that person only. Or the other way around. You can have them enabled for everyone, but disable it for someone special. Here's how you turn off autocorrect on iPhone and iPad. First, we'll go to Settings, General, and scroll down to Keyboard Settings. Here you can control everything that has to do with your keyboard, including autocorrection and things like spell checking, which throws that red underline under a word if you misspell it. You can also disable things like predictive text, which will suggest words to you as you're typing. The settings are the same both on iPhone and iPad. And that's it. To stop Siri suggestions on your phone, go to Settings, navigate to Siri, and then scroll down to Suggestions. Here you can disable suggestions for specific parts of iOS, or you can just disable them all. These are system-wide controls, but if you'd like, you can disable Siri suggestions for specific apps while leaving them on for everything else. Go to Apps, pick any app you'd like, and here you can customize your Siri suggestions for this particular app. Easy peasy. Here's how you stop sharing your iPhone's location. iPhone allows you to share your real-time location with friends and family through the Find My app or through the Messages app. To turn off location sharing, go to Settings, navigate to your Apple ID, and then go to the Find My app settings. Here you can disable location sharing, which will turn it off for Messages and the Find My app. Friends and family won't get a notification, but if they try to check your location, they'll see a location not available message. Alright, so you want to stop your iPhone's display brightness adjusting automatically based on the surrounding lighting, and you couldn't find anything under the display settings. Same here. You'd think the toggle for this is under display settings, but it's actually under the accessibility settings. Go to accessibility and then find display and text size. Scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see a toggle for auto display brightness. Keep in mind, keeping your display constantly on a bright setting can affect your battery life. Let's take screenshots. First, you'll locate the lock button on your iPhone, and on the opposite side, you'll be pressing the volume up button. You'll press those two buttons simultaneously, and your iPhone will take a screenshot. If you try to do it with the volume down button, nothing will happen. You'll just lock your phone. On most models, the volume up button is the middle button, so just memorize that it's the one in the middle. Another thing to note is that you need to hit the buttons at the same time, or if it's easier, you can press and hold the lock button, and then immediately after tap the volume up. For some folks, this press and hold method is easier, so I always recommend it to those who struggle with the timing. If you don't hit the second button fast enough, you'll just activate Siri, but you can always just talk to Siri and ask it to take a screenshot for you. After your screenshot, you can use the markup tools to highlight parts of your image, or make other edits like crop your screenshot. If you have a long page that doesn't fit into one screenshot, you can tap this button here to save the full page. This creates one long screenshot with everything on that page included, and you can save it either as a photo or as a PDF document. If you're using an iPhone with a physical home button, the process is the same, but you'll be using the home button instead of the volume up button. So lock button and home button at the same time, or press and hold the home button and hit the lock button immediately after that. To restart your iPhone without using the screen, quickly press and release the volume up button, then volume down button, and immediately after that press and hold the side power button, and keep pressing it until you see the Apple logo appear. This might take up to 20 seconds, so keep holding the button down, even if your screen goes black. You can do this even when the phone is locked, and it's a good way to reset things when your phone is still alive but the screen isn't cooperating. Once you see the Apple logo appear, you can release the side button and your phone will restart normally. If this didn't work, try charging your phone for at least 15 to 30 minutes, then repeat the process. And if still nothing happens, connect your phone to a computer. If it shows up on the computer, you can try a recovery mode restart. To do this on an older iPhone with a home button, press and hold the home button, and depending on your model, either the top or side button together. Again, keep holding until you see the Apple logo. And that's how you force restart your iPhone. So you upgraded your phone and now you're ready to sell the old one or hand it down to someone. Here's how you make sure everything is removed from the old phone. Go to Settings, General, and scroll down to Transfer or Reset iPhone. Here you have the option to either reset different settings on your phone, or you can choose to fully erase everything that's currently on your phone. Obviously, make sure to back up all your important photos and files before doing this. When you choose to erase your phone, you'll be asked for a passcode, and you might see an upload screen if iCloud backups are currently in progress. I highly recommend keeping your backups up to date before erasing your phone, but since I'm just demonstrating it here, I'm going to skip this backup. If you're using an older phone with a physical SIM card, make sure to eject the SIM card after formatting your phone. On a newer iPhone that's using eSIM, you'll get a prompt asking if you want to keep your eSIM on this phone, and just erase all the data, or if you'd like to both erase all data and delete eSIM off the phone. If you're not familiar, eSIM is a digital SIM that functions just like a physical SIM card. It holds your phone number, carrier plan, and network settings, but it's built directly into the phone instead of being a removable card. So if you have an eSIM, your phone number is tied to that eSIM profile. When you remove or erase the eSIM, you're essentially disconnecting that number from the device. After removing it, you can reactivate it on another phone. The last step is to enter your Apple account password to turn off activation lock and the Find My app if you're using it. After this, your phone will start erasing all content, and once it's done, you'll see the welcome screen just like you would on a brand new iPhone. Follow the steps to set up your newly formatted phone, or let the next owner do it. To see a list of all your blocked contacts, go to Settings, scroll all the way down to Apps, and then find the Phone app. Once you get to the Phone app settings, you can scroll all the way down and go to Blocked Contacts. Here, you can either add new people to your blocked list, or you can look at the full list of all the contacts you have currently blocked. If you'd like to unblock someone, you can locate them on the list, swipe left, and choose Unblock. If you don't like the typing sound on your iPhone, here's how you can turn it off. Go to Settings, Sounds and Haptics, and scroll down to Keyboard Feedback. Here you have a toggle for both the sound and for the little haptic feedback you feel in your fingers when typing. Sound toggle off and there's no more sound when typing. Hope that helps, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you in the next video. QR codes like this one here have become extremely popular. They're easy and convenient, but surprisingly underexplained with no instructions. I'm going to show you how to use QR codes, what they are, and something to be aware of when using these. The beauty of QR codes is that they're extremely easy to use. This software I bought has a QR code, and all I need is a smartphone to scan it. I'll just open the camera, point it towards the code, and my phone camera will recognize it as a QR code. Tap the link, and it'll take me to the web page of this manufacturer. No need to download apps or anything, simply point your camera towards the code. You should only scan codes that are in trustworthy places. QR codes can be used to lure people on malicious websites, so never go blindly scanning codes you see on a random sticker somewhere. And if you're scanning a code, pay attention to the preview link that shows up in your camera before tapping it. And that's how you use QR codes. There's no separate setting to disable that screenshot sound on your iPhone, but you can disable it by turning your phone's silent mode on. On a newer iPhone like this, you'll hold down the action button, which can be set to silence your entire phone. Silent mode on, and my screenshots don't make any sound. If your action button does something else, you can go to Settings and the action button menu to choose what that button does. I like to keep mine as a quick silence button. On older iPhones that don't have an action button, you'll have this type of toggle here, which you can flip to silence your phone. Put it on silent, and your screenshots won't make any sounds. Here's how you stop the apps on your iPhone from going into landscape mode when rotating your phone. Oddly enough, there is no setting for this under the main iOS settings. Instead, the switch for this is located in your control center. Swipe down from the top right corner of your screen and look for this orientation lock icon. My control center doesn't have it, so I'll have to add it. If you're on iOS 18, you can click the plus icon on the top left corner to edit your controls, and then on the bottom of your screen, add a new control. Scroll down to Display and Brightness controls and add the Orientation Lock toggle to your control center. Resize and reposition it anywhere you'd like, and now you can lock your screen orientation with a single tap. To record the screen of your iPhone, swipe down from the top right corner to open up your control center and look for this round record button. If you don't have it, I'll show you how to add it in just a second. Tap that, and you get a 3-second countdown, and your screen recording will begin. Now everything on your screen will be recorded, and once you're done, you can tap the red indicator on the top of your screen to stop recording. All screen recordings go automatically in your Photos app. If you don't have the record button in your control center, tap the plus icon in the top left corner, and then from the bottom of your screen, choose Add a Control. Here you can add a variety of different controls to your control center. Once added, you can drag your controls to your preferred position, and you can even resize them if you'd like to make some of them bigger. If you have an iPhone like this that has the dynamic island on the top of your screen, everything works the same. The controls just look a little different when stopping your screen recording. And that's how you screen record on an iPhone. So your iPhone's screen can rotate like this when you turn your phone, but there's also a way to lock the screen in place so it doesn't do this. And it's pretty easy to switch between the two settings. To control this, you'll first swipe down from the top right corner of your screen to open the control center. You'll want to look for this type of icon, but if you're like me and don't have it, we can add it. Tap the plus icon in the top left corner and choose Add a Control from the bottom of your screen. Here you can either type and search or scroll down until you find what you're looking for. Here's the orientation lock icon I'm looking for, so I'll tap it to add it to my control center. The first page of my control center is full, so the icon went on the second page. I want to keep this on the first page, so I'll tap, hold, and then move it up and keep moving until I find a place where I like it. I'll push this all the way to the bottom, and while I keep holding it, the other icons will make room for my new button. After releasing it, I can even make it a little bigger so it's easier to find. Tap an empty space when you're done, and now tapping this lock icon will either lock or unlock your screen rotation. Lock on and screen doesn't move. Lock off and it'll rotate. Keep in mind that not all apps support the screen rotation. Also, the home screen doesn't rotate on most iPhones anymore. The Plus models supported that feature, and I think they still do. But my phone, for example, doesn't rotate the home screen. It's also worth noting that if you have display zoom set up, rotation may not work properly. You can check that under Settings, Display and Brightness, and Display Zoom. If you're trying to figure out how to like a message on iPhone, you're not alone. It's easy, but the option to add likes is hidden. To like a message, tap and hold the message, and you'll get a list of reactions you can add to that message. Pick from the list or choose any emoji you'd like to use as your reaction. To delete stickers on your iPhone, open the Messages app and choose any conversation. Then tap the plus icon and go to Stickers. To delete stickers, you'll need to tap and hold them until the sticker becomes slightly bigger. Then simply release your finger and choose Remove. One thing to note is that removing them from the recently used tab like I'm doing now doesn't remove them from your sticker library. You can see how this car, for example, is gone from recently used, but it's still available in my custom sticker tab. If you want to completely remove your custom stickers, go to the Custom Sticker tab and remove them from there. The basic emojis are built in and cannot be removed, but you can remove them from your recently used tab just like any other sticker. And that's how you delete stickers on your iPhone. Find the app you want to delete, tap and hold, and choose Remove App. You can either completely delete the app or you can choose to remove it from your home screen, but keep the app available in your app library. This essentially just hides the icon, but keeps the app on your phone. I want this app removed, so I'm going to tap Delete App. The app library I mentioned is at the very end of your app view, if you swipe all the way to the right. So if you hide the icon and keep it in the library, this is where those apps will show. I'm going to show you two ways to change the background picture on your iPhone. If you want to use one of your own photos, go to the Photos app. Pick the photo you want to use and tap the sharing icon on the bottom left corner. Down here, you'll see an option to use this photos as your wallpaper. You can swipe between a few different effects if you're using the latest version of iOS, and you can also pinch and zoom the photo to position it the way you like. Once you're happy with the position of your photo, tap Add in the top right corner. You can either set the photo as a wallpaper pair, meaning you'll see the same photo in the background, both when your phone is locked and also when it's unlocked and you're using your phone. Or if you'd like, you can customize your home screen. This allows you to adjust the look and feel of the photo when you're looking at your apps. You can blur, change it to a solid color, matching your wallpaper, or you can even choose a completely different photo as your home screen background. I'll go with this grassy green for my home screen background, and once I set that up, I now have the beautiful raindrops on my lock screen and the fresh green grass in the background when using my phone. Another way to change your background is to go to Settings and Wallpaper. You'll see your existing wallpaper options, and you can easily switch between those, or you can create a new one. Here you can choose from all the built-in wallpaper options, set fun emoji wallpapers, or use a photo shuffle, which rotates between different photos. A lot of these wallpapers are highly customizable, so you can make it your own, change the look and feel, and even add widgets to your home screen to show the weather, or something similar you always want to keep an eye on. To share content using AirDrop on your iPhone, open the file or document you want to share, and look for the share icon. I'm going to share this photo, so I'll tap the share button in the bottom left corner. If you've previously shared files with your contacts, you'll see a recently used list of people here. To AirDrop, I'll tap this AirDrop icon, and a list of nearby devices will show up. When I send my photo, a pop-up window on that device will open, saying there's an AirDrop transfer available. Accept that, and the file will transfer over. Sometimes the AirDrop menu doesn't show you any nearby devices. If that happens, take the device you're trying to send files to and swipe down from the top right corner to open up the control center. Press and hold the Wi-Fi icon and then look for the AirDrop options. By default, it's set to contacts only, but you can temporarily change it to be available for anyone that's nearby. Now, all Apple devices nearby will see your iPhone and can AirDrop files to it. Here's how you add widgets like this on your iPhone's home screen. First, we'll navigate to the home screen page where you want the widgets, and then tap and hold any empty space on your screen. Your apps will start to wiggle, and an Edit button appears in the top left corner. Tap that and choose Add Widget. Now you can browse all the available widgets. There's a bunch of widgets available for separate apps and functions, but my favorite is the Smart Stack, which will hold multiple different widgets in a stack, allowing you to swipe between them. You can choose between a small, medium, or large version of the widget, and you can also resize it after it's been added to your home screen. This phone I'm using doesn't have a lot of content on it, which is why a lot of these are showing empty. But you get the idea. You can swipe through your stack, revealing all the different widgets. Tap Done, or any empty space on your screen when you're happy with your widget. If you want to choose what's displayed in your Smart Stack, you can tap and hold it and choose Edit Stack. Here you can turn off the Smart Rotate and Widget suggestions, and tapping the plus icon on the top left corner allows you to add more widgets to your stack, while the minus icon in the top left corner of your widgets will remove them from your stack. I'll remove this podcast widget and then go ahead and replace it with something else. You can also add widgets on your lock screen. With your phone locked, tap and hold on the screen and choose Customize. Here you can add widgets, and if you're using iOS 26, you can choose the position of them as well. The lock screen widgets are pretty small and modest compared to the ones you can add on your home screen, and to be honest, these are a bit useless. There's limited space, so you won't be able to display a lot of them on your lock screen, but some beats none, I guess. And that's pretty much it. Widgets are a nice way to customize your home screen, and if you own a Mac or iPad, you can do the same thing on those as well. To clear your internet browsing history in iOS 26, go to Safari, tap the three dots on the bottom right corner, and choose Bookmarks. Pretty confusing, I know. For some reason, Apple hid the browsing history behind bookmarks, but here under the clock icon, you'll see your browsing history. If you want to clear it, tap the three dots on top of your screen and choose Clear. You'll have the option to clear everything, or just the last couple of days, or even just the last hour. You can also use this to automatically close all your open browser tabs. I'm going to clear my history for today and close all tabs, and that's how you clear your history in iOS 26. Also, don't forget that if you don't want your browsing history to be saved in the first place, you can always open a private tab for that. To change the alarm volume on your iPhone, go to Settings and scroll down to Sounds and Haptics. You'll see a volume slider for ringtone and alerts, and this sets the volume both for when your phone is ringing, as well as when your alarm goes off. I always thought it's confusing how this is what controls the alarm volume, but as of now, that's how it works. Under the slider, there's a toggle to change this with buttons. With this enabled, you can use the physical volume buttons on the side of your iPhone to quickly adjust your ringtone and alarm volume without going in the settings. The only exception is if you have something like a video or music playing on your phone, which is when the volume buttons will control the music volume but not your ringer volume. Disable the button, and the volume up and down buttons will only control the output sound of your music and videos, and it won't affect the alarm volume. I know it's a little confusing, but I hope that all makes sense. To change the alarm sound on your iPhone, find the clock app, tap Alarms on the bottom, and then choose the alarm you want to change your sound for. You can have a bunch of different alarms preset for different times, and each of them can have a different alarm sound. Once you're in the Edit Alarm menu, choose Sound. There's a list of sounds to choose from, and for some reason there's also a separate list of classic sounds, hidden all the way on the bottom. If you go all the way up top, you'll also have an option to choose any song from your music library to play as your alarm sound. The only caveat here is that the song needs to exist on your iPhone storage, so you can't stream any songs from Apple Music here. Songs that were purchased or synced from your computer will work just fine. The file just needs to be stored on your iPhone. Here's how you disable automatic app updates on your iPhone and iPad. First, we'll go to Settings, scroll down to Apps, and find the App Store settings. From here, locate the App Updates toggle and turn it off. Now all your apps will stop automatically updating in the background, and you'll have full control over which apps are updated and when. Here's how you can customize your app icons in iOS 26. With your phone unlocked, tap and hold any app and choose Edit Home Screen. You can also do this by tapping and holding an empty space on your home screen. Look in the top left corner and choose Edit and then Customize. Now you can customize your app icons. Most of the options here will have a darker and lighter option or an automatic setting that switches between light and dark depending on the time of the day. The tinted option lets you choose any color for your app icons. You can even use the color picker to pick a color from your wallpaper, which is great if you'd like your app icons to match the look and feel of your wallpaper colors. Again, you can choose between light, dark, or automatic setting. And this top right toggle will switch between large app icons or the standard icons with text underneath. The dimmer on top left will dim your wallpaper if you want to give your screen a darker look. And if you want to make your app icons really pop, tap and hold an empty space on your screen, choose Edit again on the top left corner, and then choose Edit Wallpaper. You can change the wallpaper from here, but my personal favorite is the option to blur the wallpaper, making your app icons stand out more. So that's how you customize your apps in iOS 26. If you're a new iPhone user, you might find yourself wondering how to turn this thing off. One easy way is to swipe down from the top right corner to open Control Center, and you'll see a little power button on the top of your screen. Press and hold that for a second, and you'll get a slider to power off your phone. Slide it all the way to the right, and your phone will fully power off. I'm going to leave mine on to show another way to turn off your iPhone. This can be done even when the phone is locked. Simply hold down the wake button and either one of the volume buttons. Holding down these buttons allow you to power off the phone, but also gives an option to view the user's medical ID, which can contain information about blood type, medications, etc. This is something first responders can use if you're found unconscious in an emergency. So I highly recommend setting up your medical ID. Once your phone is powered off, you can turn it on by holding down the wake button until an Apple logo appears. iPhones are pretty slow to restart, so keep in mind this might take a minute. Here's how you record phone calls on an iPhone. First, let's call someone. I'm using a FaceTime call here, but you can do this on regular phone calls as well. Once connected, tap the three dots here and choose Call Recording. The person you're calling will get a notification that the call will be recorded, and the recording will start. Once you're done, you can end the call or continue the call and just end the recording. If you're using an older version of iOS and don't see the three dots, look for this icon on the top left corner. Tap that, and call recording will start. Once you're done, you can navigate to the Notes app, where you can play back a recording of your call, as well as show the transcript of the conversation. And that's call recording on the iPhone. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. To create a group text on an iPhone, you'll go to the Messages app, start a new text, and simply add more than one recipient. Boom, that's a group text. Now here's one thing that confuses a lot of people. If all the names you add show up as a blue color, it means they're iPhone users using Apple's iMessage platform, meaning you get additional features like the ability to make a custom group name, add and remove people later, send reactions, etc. If you see any names or numbers with green color, you're looking at a non-iPhone user. You still have a group text that works just fine. You just won't be able to do some of those things mentioned earlier. In an all-iPhone user group chat, members also have the ability to leave the group by going to the info screen and tapping Leave this conversation, but in a green text group that unfortunately isn't possible. If you have a mixed group of users, using a third-party app like WhatsApp might be a good idea. To block unknown callers and spam calls, we'll first go to Settings, Apps, and navigate to the Phone app. I'm using iOS 26, so if you're on an older version, your settings might look slightly different, but the main idea is the same. In the phone settings, scroll down to Call Filtering. The Unknown Callers toggle refers to calls that don't show a phone number at all. You know, the calls that would show on your phone as unknown, no caller ID, or private number. Turn on the toggle and these calls will go straight to voicemail or missed calls. They will still appear in your recent calls list, but they won't be ringing your phone. The spam toggle relies on your carrier's spam detection system. If your carrier flags a number as spam, iOS can silence the call and put it into the spam list. The calls will show up in your call history, but they'll be under the spam category, so you won't mistake them for legitimate missed calls. Above these toggles, you also have the option to screen unknown numbers. This applies to phone numbers you don't have saved as contacts on your phone, so it's different from the callers with no caller ID. You can either let these calls through like normal, ask for a reason for calling, or silence them. In the Phone app, you'll then have the ability to view all your calls, missed calls, unknown callers, and spam. So that's how you filter and block unwanted callers. Hope that helps. Thanks for tuning in. Slap that like button if you found this helpful, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial.